A four-time DWI offender pleads guilty to killing a teenager, but the state prison system had no record of that conviction.
We broke this story here on Friday night, and today we're already seeing results for the victim's family. KXAN Shannon Wolfson is live with more on this Austin News investigation.
Last year, Richard Laney was sentenced to 3 years in prison for causing the crash that killed 16-year-old Adam Smith just before Christmas in 2006. But the State Department of Corrections had no record of his intoxication manslaughter conviction. And as the Travis County DA's office tries to figure out just how that happened, today they took action. In a Travis County courtroom more than a year ago, Richard Laney admitted he was drunk the night he crashed into a car, killing Adam Smith and seriously injuring two of his teenage friends. Adam's mom, Liz, was there.
He was a repeat offender. It didn't seem like he could stop himself from drinking and driving.
It was his fourth DWI conviction, and Laney pled guilty to 2 counts of intoxication assault and intoxication manslaughter in Adam's death. But last week, in the middle of her fight to keep Richard Laney from getting an early release, Liz discovered there was no record of his manslaughter conviction in the state prison system.
I really couldn't believe it. This is the first for me. It's not something that I wouldn't expect.
Carmen Castro is the Smith family's advocate at Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
And the courts should have followed through with that.
Castro and Liz Smith both picked up the phone and dialed former prosecutor Matthew Foy.
I was surprised, and this is not something that's ever happened in any of my cases that I've handled before.
Foy immediately had the paperwork on the manslaughter conviction faxed to the Department of Corrections.
It was nice to know that we were able to resolve that very quickly.
Quickly, only once they figured out the conviction was missing. 16 months after Laney pled guilty, the DA's office has launched an investigation into how it happened in the first place.
It doesn't make any sense. I can't understand it.
Liz Smith wants answers, and like any mother would, she says she'll keep fighting for justice for her son. Now, Richard Laney was sentenced to 3 years in prison as part of his plea agreement. With time served, he is scheduled to be released this coming October, but he is asking the parole board to be let out sooner. He'll be on probation for 10 years after his release. Live in the studio, Shannon Wolfson, KXAN, Austin News.